welcome to another action-packed game here at the South Suburban Conference matchup on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. We're at Alamagnet Field for Eagan at Burnsville Blaze, and this is a Eagan TV Burnsville Community Media combo co-op today, so covered on both stations today as well. I am Casey Lux, and I'm joined today by my new friend here today, John Kuzi. John, how we doing?
Hey, Casey, I'm doing pretty well, and like you said in the open, it's a beautiful day for baseball. You know, we've had some rainouts here, but it's finally sunny skies, and we're ready to roll.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here, like I said, at Alamagnet on the field, a 75-degree day, 13-mile-an-hour northwest wind. So earlier today when we saw the flag whipping a little bit, it was moving from right center across the field to left field, left center. So we'll see if that comes into play for the right-handed hitters that get into one. And we hope we're going to stay away from some rain, though, too, right, John?
Yeah, you would hope so. You know, it doesn't look like it's going to be coming anywhere anytime soon.
I like it.
Some nice blue skies out there.
There we go.
But you mentioned the wind, and that could be a big factor as Burnsville struggled this year at the plate.
Okay.
You know, the wind could help them drive some balls out of the park and turn around that offense.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So here we go. We're going to jump right into the South Suburban standings. As you can see, Farmington, John, still unblemished on top. I know a lot of the teams within the conference have played them tight, but they're still at a 12-0 record. But a massive game today because, as you can see, Burnsville at 6-6, Eagan at 5-7. So this is a big matchup for both squads. Burnsville trying to get a step closer to Shakopee, Eagan trying to get a step closer to that 4 or 5 seed and try to get themselves lined up for a home playoff game in round 1. And even though we're only probably about 2 weeks away, John, from playoffs.
Yeah, we're getting close to playoff time, but these games still matter. You know, only a half game there between 4 and 5. So.
There we go. I know we'll run across the lineups here. Tate Gage is leading off center field. Theo King at third. Will Mitchell in right field. Brandon Lunenberg at catcher. Tony Hivari at first. Aiden Canty DHing. Ryan Eckerly at second. Matt Cunningham at short. Joe Anderson at left. And the pitcher will be Danny Lockenmeyer. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch is a curveball in there for a strike. Your starting pitcher today is Nick Disher, and this is the second time that the Wildcats have faced Disher. Disher faced the Wildcats previous this year. And there it is, 1, 2, 3, and Gage is retired.
Yeah, good start there from Disher. Had everything working early. Had that curveball, getting the leadoff man to chase that second strike there, and then the put-away pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, looked like he was obviously establishing that outside plate, outside corner of the zone. The third baseman will be Theo King. He'll step in. He's a junior on the season. Once we get through the second time in the lineup, I'll induce some stats on the Eagan side. But we'll let the game just kind of play itself out here early on, and we'll fill it in as the game goes. 1-0 pitch from Disher's low in the dirt. And his battery mate today is the catcher A.J. Galvin.
Yeah, Galvin already showing some good blocks behind the plate there with that ball in the dirt.
Heater up high, so quickly now 3-0. So 3 straight strikes turns into 3 straight balls for the second batter here in King. For the most part, Burnsville playing King straight up. There's a fastball over the plate for a strike. Looks like the third baseman, which is Brandon Einberger, kind of chiseling up a little bit on the grass just in case for a drag bunt, right, John?
Yeah, it seems like he's playing it slightly in, not too far in.
Right.
Just probably aware of that speed that King possesses.
So quickly now 3-2 after 2 heaters, and then King will coax a walk for the first runner of today's game. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, which is the hot-hitting right fielder, Will Mitchell. Will Mitchell was the also starting pitcher on Monday for Eagan's win. And I'll let John run through the Blaze outfield and infields.
Yeah, as we look at the Burnsville defensive alignment here, we got Einberg, Heckman, and Morrissey in the outfield. In the infield, another Einberg at third, Santelman playing short, Dam at second, and Newts at first. And then, as mentioned, Disher on the mound with his battery mate, Galvin. trying to have a solid outing today for the Blaze.
Would you say it's a Energizer battery mate or a Duracell battery mate?
You know, I'm an Energizer guy, so
Okay.
I'd say it's pretty Energizer.
You're a buddy guy, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Pound that drum. So fastball in there for a strike right away to Mitchell. King on first. He's going to take off. We're going to test out the arm right away. One hop. Nice play by the second baseman, Dan, to corral it, but not in time for King. King slides into second. Let John run through this replay here.
Yeah, we see a good jump there from King. Gets to second with ease. Good throw down by Galvin, but just not in time.
So for King now, he's 7 for 7 on the season in stolen bases. So he finds a way to get in the scoring position, typically once he finds first base. 1-1 pitch, 1 out. Fastball in the outside corner. Nice job by Galvin to get out there and still frame it in time.
Yeah, and you could kind of see that with Burnsville right away, throwing over, aware of King and the stealing prowess that he has.
Absolutely. 1-2 is our count, 1 down. A little pickoff fake attempt. As I mentioned before, Will Mitchell, having a heck of a year at the plate. He's a sophomore. Last year he was a pitcher only on varsity and was primarily a starter. And he's having a heck of a game here, a heck of a season here at the plate, being induced into this lineup. Curveball misses outside. For Mitchell, he's leading the team. He's batting .417, John, at the plate. .476 on base percentage. Second in third, tied for third on the team with 7 RBIs. And then he went 2 for 3 with an RBI in their Monday's win, 5-2 win over Lakeville North. 2-2 count, 1 down. Ball hit right side. It's going to be hit to Dam. Dam's going to get it, throw it over to Newts in time as King scoots over to third. So that'll bring up the sophomore hitting catcher, Brandon
14,
Lunenborg.
And you look here, hitting it to the perfect side there to advance King to third. So a productive out there for Mitchell, still swinging a hot bat for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and the thick grass, he just didn't get it up in the air enough because, Dam was obviously keeping an eye on King at the time, and that's where you kind of hit that backside single, right? As you mentioned, you hit it behind the runner to move him over, but a lot of times what happens is that second baseman's playing with that, the runner on the base so much that all of a sudden he isn't able to get back in time. That ball scoots in the outfield, and you got yourself a pretty lazy, not lazy, but some would even say maybe a cheap RBI single, but an RBI single is an RBI single for anybody in their book, right?
I'm sure Mitchell would take it if that were to squirt into the outfield and be a RBI.
Sky high pop up caught by Dam at second, so Eagan is retired in the first. No runs on no hits, no errors, and that 1 left on. We're going to stay here in between the first.
Yeah, and as we look at the replay here, Dam just cams underneath it. Nice easy can of corn there to end the inning for the Blaze. And Dam with some nice outfield plays will be leading off the Blaze as we come to the bottom of the first.
I think you're onto something here. I like it. You're already getting ready for that Blaze lineup. You're a smart man over here, John. We're going to stay with you here so that way we can introduce lineups and defense in time. But as we mentioned, a wonderful day, 75 degrees, about 14-mile-an-hour winds, so we'll see if that becomes a factor or not. I mean, on that pop-up, it didn't necessarily move it, right? I mean, it was basically still hitting. He stayed in the same spot at second, so everything was there.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you mentioned, that wind, you never know. It's unpredictable.
Correct.
Got to stay on your toes just in case it blows one way or the other. But
I think what we're kind of noticing, at least I'm noticing, is it seems like it's a low wind for us down here where we're feeling it, and we're nice and cool down here. But we're not always seeing the flag being whipping around if it's not getting up as high. So. All right, John's going to run us through the Burnsville lineup here.
Yeah, as we take a look at the Burnsville lineup, we got Dam leading off, as mentioned, Santelman hitting second, and then Jacob Newts hitting third. That's the big bat to look out for the Blaze. Puts a charge in the ball, 102 exit velocity. Then we got Einberg and Einberg back-to-back. Heckman in center field hitting sixth, and then Woelfel and Galvin along with Morrissey rounding out the starting 9 for the Blaze. And Morrissey, the hero of last night's game with that walk-off single against Lakeville North.
Awesome. Well, geez, look at this, John. And we got Danny Lockemeyer, the senior, on the mound. I heard, little birdie told me that he's kind of deciding between Mankato State, Minnesota State Mankato to be proper, or Concordia St. Paul to continuing playing baseball next season. So waiting to hear where he went. Selfishly, as a Concordia State baseball alum, I'd like to see him go there, which Connor Stropp, who's a big senior that blew out his knee, unfortunately, in football this year, he's set to go to Concordia St. Paul as well. And the head coach for the Golden Bears was a teammate of mine. So a lot of Eagan, Concordia St. Paul connections, or at least a little bit of a pipeline now.
It seems like there is a little bit of a pipeline there, but I think both options are great for him.
Yes. Absolutely. Any chance that a kid gets a chance to play the next level is a beautiful thing. Eagan, for their outfield and their defense today, will be Joe Anderson, senior out in left field, junior Tate Gage in center, sophomore Will Mitchell in right. You got junior Theo King at the hot corner, senior Matt Cunningham at short, senior Ryan Eckerly at second, and Tony Hivari Jr. at first. The catcher is the shortstop, the backstop, Brandon Lunenborg, and the senior is Danny Lockenmeyer, maybe the so-called ace for the Wildcats, or at least the most experienced, that being for the Wildcats. And we'll get into some of Danny's stats here as the game goes on the mound. Luke Dam, the second baseman, is going to step in. He's got plenty of action that first inning. Ground ball, pop fly. Needs a line drive to complete the bingo trifecta, right?
Absolutely. But he should have the blood pumping nice after a couple nice plays in the field. Let's see if it can translate to the dish.
Lockenmeyer with a heater for the first pitch, cross for a strike. Lockenmeyer primarily works fastball, slider, changeup. So keep an eye on that, John. There's another fastball thrown back. Oh, we got some hustle from the home plate ump, too. Getting his knees nice and loose.
I'm sure he's enjoying that.
Oh, yeah. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. There's a slider.
That was a good waste pitch there.
Yeah.
Seeing if Dam will chase early.
Early on here, bottom of the first. Pitch from Lockenmeyer. Another slider misses. No score. This is as a co-op on Eagan TV as well as Burnsville Community Media. So we're happy to be on both stations and provide some more exciting South Suburban Conference action. 2-2 pitch, misses low again. Trying to get a feel for that slider, I believe.
A good battle here from Dam early on, seeing minimum 6 pitches here. It's a good leadoff batter for the Blaze.
We got a full count here. Lockenmeyer's pitch, fastball grounded foul down the line. So for those that haven't necessarily been following Eagan so much, Eagan started off the season 0-4 in the conference, John, and now found themselves at 5-7. So those early games, there were a lot of close, one-run games. I think they lost one game in 9 innings, another one in the bottom of the 7th. I'm sure Burnsville has similar stories. There's a changeup that misses out. So an excellent at-bat, as John mentioned, by Dam to coax that early walk.
Yeah, and bringing up Eagan's slow start to the season. I mean, that's pretty much baseball for you. You got to stick to it, trust the process. You know you're getting good bat to ball. It's just a matter of until they start dropping.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, what you hope for, right, John, is you hope to obviously have your pitchers be consistent early to keep you in games because you know you're not going to be scoring, consistently 5 to 7 runs, right? Slider misses low.
Exactly. Pitching is key, and, with the Wildcats, it looks like they've got a good one in Lockenmeyer.
All right, so it looks like we did have assistant coach Paul Weinberg come over and mention that there was a change in the batting lineup for Eagan. We'll get to that later. Popped out, and it looks like Aiden Canty was pulled. I don't know if there was an injury or what happened there for Eddie Moore. Is that what you got? 27 for 33, correct? Right,
yep.
John? Thank you. All right. So just a swap in the DH spot, and that you never know. Maybe that's maybe because they want to move Canty in, maybe for a field move later. Heater in there for a strike. Quickly 1-2 to the shortstop, John Santelman. Dam is at first. Gauging the lead. It's always tricky, as you know, John, to try to get a good and proper lead against a lefty and try to see that move. Ball hit to second. This can be Eckerly. I don't know if he's going to have time. We'll see. Eckerly, ball dropped by Cunningham in the transfer, but quickly pounces on second as Dam is out. It would have been interesting if that would have been a double play ball. I don't know if it was hit hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at it here, you see the grass in the infield really kills the momentum of that ball, and that slows it down and makes turning two very difficult, but they had a chance there.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I don't know if we could have turned two, if Eagan would have been able to turn two there. So they did get the lead out. You know, Dam looked like he was trying to kind of get away, you know, get out of the way of that throw, and in doing so, that his momentum carried him past the base. That allowed Cunningham to basically just kind of pick up the ball and jump on second. So 1 out on a force out, and essentially would have been a fielder's choice. A dead ball. It catches the big toe of the first baseman, Jacob Newts. Oh, excuse me. What? Okay, John, I'm a little confused here now.
Yeah, it looks like he definitely took one there off of the shin or the toe, and that's a painful one to take.
But they're not calling it a hit by pitch, so I'm guessing he offered at the pitch. Okay, that's why. Because it's 0-1, they sent the runner back. Okay. I was a little confused there because it looked like he got a hit by pitch there. Yeah.
As we take a look, you can see the agony on Newts' face there. That's a tough one to take, but he's a tough kid, and he's going to stay in the game here. But, man, those foul balls off the foot, never fun.
My little piggy hurts just looking at that. He's going to cry all the way home. 0-1 count, 1 down. Lockemeier's pitch to Newts. Fastball low on the knees in there for strike. Santelman at first had that fielder's choice grounder to Eckerly. Dam had the leadoff walk, retired at second on that fielder's choice. 1 down, Alabama Park. Eagan at Burnsville Blaze. Santelman takes off, throwing from the knees, Benito Santiago style. Not in time as Santelman glides into second for a stolen base.
Yeah, good jump there by Santelman. As you see, he's on his way before that ball's even out of Lockemeier's hand. The throw was a good one.
Yeah.
Just not in time. Santelman barely beating it in, but a stolen base nonetheless.
Yeah, I think that was a kind of a perfect storm right there for Santelman. He looks like he kind of timed out Lockemeier, right? As you said, he got an excellent jump, was going to steal regardless whether he threw over or not. And then he also picked a changeup to run on, right? So he picked a slower pitch to run on. An excellent throw by Lunenburg from his knees. Changeup up high, misses. 2-2's our count. One out is we have here in the bottom of the first. No score. South Suburban Conference matchup. We're on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media on this lovely 75-degree day in May. Lockemeier keeping attention to Santelmeier. He's going to take off again. Ground ball to third. It's going to be to King. King fields it cleanly. Throw over the diamond. It's going to have to be scooped, and it is by Hivari. Excellent job by Hivari to stick in there and get that backhand dig, because that saved a run right there, John.
Yeah, great scoop there by Hivari. As you can see here, Newts, 2-2 count. Is able to get wood on it. Great play by King. Throw over a little low, but the scoop right here, that takes some skill and kept Santelman from scoring on the play.
Yep, so Santelman goes over to third as he's showing off those wheels here early on, the hot wheels. We're going to bring up the number 4 hitter, which is Darren Einberger, the left fielder. Lockemeier's slider inside for a ball.
Yeah, Einberger in that cleanup spot here with a chance to do some damage. Eagan was in a very similar position in the top of the first and couldn't capitalize. Let's see if the Blaze can.
Yep. 2 down, bottom of the first. Popped up. This is going to stay in. It looks like it's going to be called off by Eckerly. Eckerly's got a beat on it, and he retires it. So Eckerly records the third out of the inning. For Burnsville, no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds for more South Suburban Conference action here on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back here at Alamagnet Park, I'm Casey Lux, joined by my new color man and co-host today is John Kuzi. John's got some familiarity on the Burnsville side. Burnsville grad, right, John?
That's right.
And then you've obviously worked with Burnsville community media prior as well, calling games.
I have, yeah. I've done some baseball, some hockey, some softball, and some lacrosse. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I like it. Wear many hats, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we got the first baseman is going to be Tony Hivari. He's going to step in. Heater from Disher in there for a strike on the outside corner. Hivari, as I mentioned, the junior big first baseman, big strong first baseman. 304 on base percentage this year. Couple doubles on the year. Curveball in there low in the dirt. 8 runs on the season. He's also 5 for 6 on stolen bases. So for a big guy, he can motor. One thing I'll mention here in a second, big swing, fouled off. So for John, since he's not as familiar with Eagan a very aggressive, team on the bases. On the season, John, this is always kind of surprising me. I was looking at the total numbers. Our 1-2 pitch from Disher misses low and out. 45 of 54 on stolen bases for an 84% clip.
Wow, they do a lot of damage on those base paths.
Correct.
And I mean, we saw that in the top of the first. Got into a dangerous position early on just by using the run game to their advantage.
Correct. 2-2, sawed off, caught by Santelman. Good jump by Santelman to come in and get that before that obviously reached the thick grass of the infield and maybe allow for an infield hit for Hivari. So we mentioned before there was a lineup change after the players were announced. Aiden Canty was set to be the designated hitter today for Danny Lockemeyer, the pitcher. As we see Disher's Heater outside misses by a bunch, but it's going to be Eddie Moore. So Eddie Moore, the senior, gets the starting spot today on the DH spot, hitting from the left side. So maybe Coach Butler wanted to get a couple more lefties in lineup.
Yeah, it's possible, get that lefty-righty matchup, take advantage wherever you can, especially in a game that's as evenly matched as the Wildcats and Blaze.
1-1 pitch misses in. The other thing with Eddie Moore is he tends to be the kind of the speedster and the kind of the jack-of-all-trades guy, too. He tends to always be the courtesy runner for the catcher, Lunenborg. He's got 8 runs on the season already. Ball misses out, 3-1 quickly from Disher.
Yeah, so again, playing into that running game, and if Eddie Moore can get on, hopefully the Eagan can get some more stolen bases.
So, walks him on 5 pitches, does Disher. That's going to bring up another lefty. That's going to be the senior second baseman / shortstop, because he can play both, is Ryan Eckerly. So Eckerly on the season.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Ryan Eckerly.
Also with 8 stolen bases, also a threat to run on the bases with 5 stolen bases as well. 256 on base percentage, a double on the season. So we'll see here how quickly Eddie Moore is, and they got him. Quick cat-like move by Disher as he blazes Eddie Moore off of first before even the first pitch to Eckerly.
Yeah, and we talked about the speed from Moore and maybe why he got brought into the game here, but Disher, like you said, quick as a cat, and Moore no chance to get back on that one.
Yep, actually he got a tag up to the face too. I mean, he almost could have got that hand in there. So excellent move by Disher after he gave up that second walk of the game. Fastball in there for a strike. 1-1's our count. Now quickly 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Ryan Eckerly, the second baseman, at the dish. Burnsville playing him for the most part straight up. It looks like Newts is kind of guarding the line a little bit more since it's a lefty. And our third baseman, Einberger, kind of playing even with the base as well. Outfield, for the most part, playing him straight up as well. Heater in there for a strike, even though it wasn't caught. It's going to have to be thrown down to first, and it is from Gelvin to Newts in time. So Eagan retired 1-2-3 in a strange fashion, but no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the second inning between Eagan and Burnsville.
wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Taking a look at here, Danny Lockenmeyer, the senior, getting loose, getting ready for the bottom of the second. We'll jump into Danny's stats here on the season. 4 games pitched. He's had 3 starts. This is his 4th start. 18 1/3 innings. 0-2 on the season. A couple tough losses. 9 earned runs. Pretty even between walks and strikeouts, and a 3.43 ERA. Right around the Egan's team ERA, John, is their team ERA is 3.42. So a low good ERA for Eagan. You know, obviously they need to score runs as well. You know, and that's where they've kind of lost some of those low-scoring games early on in the season when they jumped out to an 0-4 conference start. Brandon Einberger will be the hitter. Big swing by Einberger. I think he thought that wind was blown out to left, John.
Yeah, it seemed like he was shooting for the downs there and just came up with a swing and a miss.
Another big swing on a heater from Lockenmeyer. But you know what? I'm never going to discredit a guy that's up there and not going to get short and is going to get his cuts in as opposed to watching fastballs down the middle. 0-2 pitch by Lockenmeyer, swung on 3 straight for the first strikeout of the day for Lockenmeyer. We're going to see Colin Heckman now, the center fielder, come up.
Next up, center fielder number 23.
Yeah, here we can see Einberg with all these big cuts here. You know, you wonder if he's going to lose his helmet the next time he's up. He's swinging so hard, but like you said, don't get cheated.
Nope, and to his credit, he was choking up in the plate, too. I mean, that's what we noticed on an excellent replay. So Heckman, the center fielder, steps in. And actually, the other thing that we noticed on that replay is that the catcher actually wanted that pitch up high, and actually Lockenmeyer got away with it as he kind of threw that one kind of right down the middle.
Yeah, right in Einberger's wheelhouse, but just couldn't come up with it.
1-1 count, 1 down. 75-degree, beautiful day here at Alamagnet Park. Popped up down the line. We're going to see this could be a no man's land. Mitchell gives it a chase. It's going to bounce in there for a hit. And we're going to have a double. So Heckberg finds that no man's land where nobody can corral it in between the 3, between Hivari, Eckerly, and Mitchell. Mitchell was the closest. Strong throw by Eckerly.
Now batting,
but Heckerman slides in safely to second.
Yeah, as we look at it here, just a little Texas leaguer drops in right in front of the line, and you know that's baseball for you. You could hit the ball 120 miles per hour on the line off the bat, just right at somebody, or you could just hit one of those and end up on second base with a double.
Absolutely, and you know what? It counts towards the average just the same, right? And he gets a double, and now he's in scoring position. If Mitchell's able to corral that, there's a good chance that he holds him to first, right? But because that kind of popped up and hit off his glove, then Eckerly was the one that had to come up and make the play. Big swing by Ben Wolfel, the designated hitter, who's hitting for the pitcher Nick Disher. As once again, the Blaze threatening to score the first run of the game here for back-to-back innings with a runner on second. Heckman with some speed. We'll see if we see him get sent. Nice block, but he's going to take off anyways. Strong throw by Lunenborg, but Heckman slides in safely. So 1 base closer to the first run of the game for the Blaze. 1-1 count, 1 out. First hit of the game was by Heckman. Infield in. Eagan knows that this could be a low-scoring game, John.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big stolen base there by Heckman, and I think the key was the decisiveness. He knew he was going right away, and I think that's what led him to get to third safely.
Yeah, he was taking an excellent they call that, a secondary, right? A secondary lead, and once he saw it go in the dirt, he just took off. Nice job, and a great block by Lunenborg, and actually a strong throw as he kind of did a little snap throw from the side. but Heckman's speed obviously beat the strong throw. So Eagan playing up with their infield. 2-2 count, 1 out. Lockemeyer's pitch. Good hold by Wolfel.
Yeah,
on
an
a
excellent
slider
hold there. That was a nasty pitch on 2-2, and Wolfel just able to hold up.
So now you want to, now you want to make a smart pitch, because if you do walk him, then you do have the double play still in order. That one's fouled off to the right side. So you don't want to give him anything too nice, right? Either see if you can induce him into a grounder, a strikeout, or at worst walk him, and then you still have the double play intact. 3-2 pitch, Lockemeyer to Wolfel, popped up over our heads.
Sometimes I feel like I should bring my glove, maybe bring home a souvenir, but it's a little too far over our heads with that one.
Get the winning team to sign it. All right, Heckman at third, Wolfel at the plate, Lockemeyer 3-2. Changeup misses up high. So double play will be in order. We'll see if they still keep the infield in. I think they're going to play them even. So you're going to see Cunningham and Eckerly play for the double play. Hivari and King will stay on the corners. And then now we're going to have the catcher, A.J. Galvin, at the plate with a chance to get the first RBI of the day. Strike first for the Blaze in this ever important South Suburban Conference matchup today. First pitch from Lockemeyer. Big swing on a heater in there for a strike.
Yeah, Galvin wasn't just trying to bring home the first run there. He was trying to bring home the first, second, and third run there.
There you go. There you go. And the ball seems to tend to carry decently out here, right? I think the games that we've done in the playoffs. And Lockemeyer gets one back on the pickoff. So Disher, helped his cause in the top of the second, picking off Eddie Moore.
Yeah, as we look at it here.
Caught him leaning.
Couldn't get back in time. And yeah, no chance on that one. Good move by Lockemeyer.
Yep. Caught Wolfel leaning. That was actually the first time that Lockemeyer even went over to first, so really hadn't shown the move yet. Heater inside, misses. 1-1's our count quickly, now 2 down. Heckman still at third. Eagan looking to strand him and get their boys back into the dugout for the top of the third. 1-1's our count, 2 down, and we have no score here in the bottom of the second. Heckman's inching closer at third. Nice block by Lunenborg, the catcher, on the slider.
Yeah, Lunenborg again, nice block there. Had a nice block earlier and a good throw down.
It's a long backstop, too. So, I mean, it just shows you the importance of your catcher to be able to just keep everything in front, right? Popped up. It's going to be to right field. Mitchell's got a good beat on it. Just move a couple feet to his left, and he makes the play. So, for Burnsville, they get no runs, even though they had a big threat there on one hit. No errors, and there was one left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds. More action with Eagan coming up against Burnsville on Eagan TV and Burnsville Media.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Back here at the starting the top of the third, no score, only one hit on the board. Clean game, no errors on the scoreboard as well. Heckman had that double down the line in the top or bottom of the second, hustled in the second, got over to third with one out, John. Then there was a walk, but the huge pickoff by Lockemeyer is really what saved that inning for the Wildcats.
Yeah, well, we talked about how the walk in that situation wouldn't have been so bad because it sets up the double play, but it also set up the pickoff move.
Correct.
And that was just a huge, huge turn of events in that bottom half.
Yep. Yeah, and you also wonder, too, as we watch Matt Cunningham, the shortstop, the senior, step in, Disher's curveball in there for a strike. You know, he was leaning, so you also wonder, too, like if they were going to send him or maybe even try to put in kind of the hot box play, right, to try to see if he can find a way just to get Heckman across the board and get that first run so early. Big check swing by Cunningham. Cunningham kind of back in the lineup here now, John. He was injured for a good chunk of the season, the middle part of the season, but had a great game on Monday, 1 for 3 with a run and a double. Strike 3 as it was 3 consecutive pitches for Disher. So that's the second time this game where Disher's went strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 for a strikeout.
Yeah, he started off the game hot with the 1, 2, 3, and here we got the good morning, good afternoon, and good night as well. So Disher has the strikeout pitch working. We'll see if he can keep it up as the game goes along.
Yeah, both pitchers are doing an excellent job of trying to keep their pitch counts down. I think they've each only given up, I think Disher's given up 2 walks, but for the most part, his pitch count's been, staying below that 3-2 full count. First pitch was a curveball into Joe Anderson, the senior left fielder. 362 on base percentage. Fastball misses out. Joe is one of the faster guys on the Eagan lineup, 6 for 6 as well on stolen bases. 10 runs scored on the year, and then he came in relief on Monday's game as we watched Disher's pitch. That's bounded off the plate, but foul. Came in relief on Monday, went 1 for 1, had 2 runs and an RBI. So came off the bench and was ready to swing it and help the cause in that 5-2 win over North. And Lakeville North probably isn't watching this game because they took a loss to Eagan on Monday and then took a loss to Burnsville on Tuesday. So they're sick of these teams.
Yeah, especially with the way that they took that loss to Burnsville too. A walk-off in the 8th inning, it's gotta leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. And they probably don't want to listen to us talk about them either, right? All right, 1-2's the count. Check swing, but didn't matter. Second strikeout of the inning for Disher. I think John's got us. What do we got? What are we up to for strikeouts? I got in my head. I'm trying to think. I think he's got 3 or 4 already.
Yeah, that was Disher's 4th K of the evening, and yeah, he's got 2 down here, as you can see. Had him fooled there. Got a little bit of a piece of it, but good holding on there by Galvin for the strikeout.
So the junior center fielder is Tate Gage. He's going to step in, the leadoff hitter. And he's been sitting in that leadoff spot all season as well as holding down center field all season. First pitch was a ball inside from Disher. The 1-0 pitch is low as it skips across. Doing a little bit of everything, John. 280 average, 368 on base. Tied for lead with 4 doubles, so has some pop for a leadoff hitter. Leads a team in RBIs, so that's kind of a rarity for a leadoff hitter as the fastball misses up. 3-0 quickly, 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. Leads a team in runs with 11, and then also leads a team with 10 stolen bases, 10 for 11 on the season. So a whole lot of speed, but then he also has some pop.
Yeah, Gage, he's a do-it-all player, and there's a reason he's in that leadoff spot for the Wildcats.
Ball's hit down the line over to Einberger. Einberger's throw in time to get the speedy Gage. Newts holds onto it. Gage takes a little spill. Hopefully he's all right. And that will retire Eagan in the top of the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors. A 1-2-3 inning for Disher. Back in 60 seconds as Lockemeyer will get back on the mound for Eagan as the Blaze are coming up here on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media.
I'll see y'all. grab some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Casey Lux and John Kuzi here on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media Co-op today. And then we have Burnsville Blaze coming up to the plate here in the bottom of the third. No score we still have. Only 1 hit on the board. 75-degree day, about 14-mile-an-hour winds northwest. From time to time, a little intermittent wind. But a wonderful day for a ball game. We're in the shade too, John. So, I mean, we don't get to work on our tan, but we also don't get as hot, right?
Exactly. I'll take it over here in the shade.
So Connor Morrissey's going to step in. He's the right fielder. He's the number 9 hitter here for the Blaze as Lockemeyer, the senior, settles in. Heater in there for a strike. And you mentioned that Morrissey was the hero yesterday.
Yes, he was with that single against Lakeville North in the 8th inning. A big win there for the Blaze as we looked at the standings before the game and how close that is between 4, 5, and 6.
Correct.
Every game matters.
Yeah. And even, between Burnsville and I can't remember who was third, but it was only like a game and a half. So, there's a chance for some teams to even creep into that, second or third spot. Farmington undefeated at 12-0 is more than likely going to hold down the number 1 seed. But this is a huge game between these two teams. They're jockeying kind of for that middle spot and also trying to get a home playoff matchup once the playoffs do start. So quickly now 3-1 to Morrissey out in right field today. The senior is Danny Lockemeyer on the mound. Looking at his signs from his battery mate, Brandon Lunenborg, the sophomore. Big swing by Morrissey. The heater gets by him. Full count now, 3-2 in the bottom of the third at El Magnet Park.
Yeah, Morrissey saw one he liked there at 3-1, just couldn't come up with it.
And here's the payoff pitch from Lockemeyer. Freezes Morrissey on a changeup on the outside corner as the Wildcats will quickly snap that thing around the infield. We're going to flip the lineup back over to the leadoff hitter, which is the second baseman, Luke Dam.
Yeah, Dam his first time around had a tough at-bat, worked a walk, and got himself into scoring position in that first inning, but was unable to be brought home by the Blaze.
First pitch by Lockemeyer, low slider, misses, 1-0. Yeah, it's kind of one of those games, too. If it's going to be a low-scoring game, I'm interested to see if you're going to see some small ball being, operated today, right? Whether that's bunting guys over or even, even some of these guys with speed, it doesn't have to be the top or the bottom lineup. It could be the middle of the lineup, putting the pressure on maybe with little drag bunts or even push bunts to see if they can find a way on base between these two tough pitchers and Disher and Lockemeyer. Ball just misses down the third base line. Foul.
Well,
I don't know if it would have been hit hard enough for a double, but that would have been a great start for the Blaze here to get somebody on with 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the 1 hit already from Heckman. That was just a bloop single that was stretched into a double, but nothing else really offensively between the two teams. So to your point, they got to find something that will work for them. And
correct.
We'll see what happens.
This one's going to be foul, but it's going to be see if we can chase it in. It's fouled by about 3 feet. As that one kind of lands between the first baseman, Hivari, as well as Mitchell.
Yeah, that one was very reminiscent of the single hit that we had in this game, but just a little off foul.
Yep. That one I could tell was going to be fouled, but I also could tell that more than likely they weren't going to get to it. It was kind of that same territory, same area. 2-2 count to the leadoff hitter, who is number 2. We almost had 4 2s across the board. So 3-2 count now, 1 down. Bottom of the third, no score. Only 1 hit on the board. That was Heckman. Ball hit hard, but foul by Dam. Dam having another nice at-bat here, as he did in the first inning against Lockemeyer.
Yeah, another very tough at-bat here from Dam. Running up that pitch count a bit on Lockemeyer. You can tell why he's in that leadoff spot for the Blaze.
Yeah, absolutely. Can handle the bat. Great control, good eye. Ground ball going to be hit to Cunningham. He's going to have to get to it, and takes a bad bouncy hop over his glove, it looked like. We'll wait, maybe see if we have a replay. But Dam's going to reach. We'll see what the official score gives it. I didn't see it hit his glove, so they could say that it was a clean hit because it bounced over the glove. Or they could call it an error because it was, looked to be a routine play.
Yeah, as we take a look at the replay here, just a high chopper through the infield, and we've mentioned the grass a few times and how it can slow it down. It can also add some weird hops to balls,
right.
And that's a key here for the Blaze in their home field advantage.
Waiting for the official score, but with that being said, Dam will be at first. That's going to bring up the shortstop, John Santelman. Slider, backdoor slider in there for a strike by Lockemeyer. And obviously the Blaze and the Eagan runners know that both pitchers have excellent pickoff moves, so they have to be safe and smart over at first while taking their leads. There's the pickoff attempt as Dam gets back safely.
Yeah, we've seen both pitchers, both Disher and Lockemeyer, have a pickoff in this game already. So, trying to control that run game that is rampant for both sides. And we're seeing it work well for Eagan and Burnsville.
So officially given an error to Cunningham, so the first error of the game. That one's going to be popped up. We're going to see if that's going to be to Gage. It looks like it will be. Gage has got a good beat on it, calls off Anderson for the second out of the inning. So Santelman is retired, and that will bring up the first baseman, Jacob Newts.
Yeah, Santelman getting a good piece of that one. Just got underneath it. And a routine play there for Gage in center field.
Well, the big first baseman, Jacob Newts, will step in. Newts kind of caught one on a check swing that caught his toes on his first at-bat. Dam is at first, reached on that air to short. Change up and out for ball one.
Yeah,
Game is moving quite quickly along here. It's no score, bottom of the third.
Yeah, you can see Newts there with the elbow guard and the shin guard.
Swagged out, they say, the kids would say, right?
Absolutely. But also keeping those limbs safe from any foul balls or wild pitches that might take one off.
Yeah, for sure. Dam at first. Lockemeyer's pitch to Newts. Heater out. 1-1. Oh, actually, 2-0. Excuse me. 2-0. So that first pitch was called a ball. 2-0 count. 2 down here. Luke Dam, the second baseman, at first. Reached on an air. Jacob Newts hitting the first baseman for the Blaze. Heater just misses low, a little bit low the knees. Quickly 3-0 to Newts.
It'll be interesting to see if Newts has the green light here.
And he does, with a big swing and a big hack. But Gage has got a beat, and he runs it down in the gap. So nice call by John on the 3-0 fastball. But Gage was ready and cruised over to cut that one off in right center. So Burnsville, no runs, no hits. There was that one error and one left on. No score. 0-0s. We'll be back in the top of the fourth in 60 seconds as the Wildcats come to the plate.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
Casey Lux, John Kuzi here. Alamagna Park, South Suburban Conference action. Eagan Wildcats on the road, taking on the Burnsville Blaze. No score. We're cruising along here. This could be an hour and 10-minute game here, John. We will see. Get everybody home in time for dinner. That dinner bell will be ringing and people will already be home for it.
Yeah, you never know, right? Like, I think the MLB would love if their games moved along this quickly as well. There's no pitch clock needed in high school.
Correct.
And these games are flying.
Theo King is our third baseman, the junior. 349 on base percentage, 1 double, had a huge game-tying home run in the 7th. I feel like that was either last week or 2 weeks ago at Eagan. And 6 for 6 on stolen bases. Had an RBI in their win, their 5-2 win over North on Monday. Disher comes right away with a heater in there for a strike. Quickly getting ahead in the count. Curveball up high, misses. 1-1 is our count. Give me King's rundown from his first at-bat, John.
Yeah, so Theo King in his first at-bat worked a walk, and then he was able to show off the wheels on those base paths and cause some danger early on for the Blaze.
Ground ball hit over to Santelman, but another kind of tough hop as he dives for it, and that's going to be an infield single for the first hit of the day for the Wildcats as King reaches the leadoff single.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Will
Yeah,
Mitchell.
just, again, that 5-6 hole there. Santelman tries to make a nice backhand play, but that's a tough play for anybody, and that will go down as the first hit for the Wildcats today.
Yeah, it looked like, that ball was kind of bounced. It wasn't off the plate, but it was hit off of the dirt before the grass. And then I think that kind of gave it some side spin. So when you saw Sandelman come over to it, he had to dive for it because I think it had that spin that was spinning away from him as opposed to coming straight at him. Even if he gets to a backhand with King's speed, probably not going to be a play. Even a Carlos Correa type arm probably doesn't make that throw. But just a kind of a bad beat, due to the ball placement. Fake bunt by Mitchell in their first strike, so 1-1. 0-1. I think our scoreboard is a little bit behind us here today.
But to your point from earlier about the, starting to try to manufacture runs, we see the Wildcats here showing bunt. We'll see if they stick to that.
Mitchell shows it. Throw over by Disher as King gets in. King 6 for 6 coming into today on stolen bases. Got one earlier, so a unblemished 7 for 7. Another bunt shown, but this misses in. I'm not going to overly comment on the count because I believe it's 1-1, even though our scoreboard's saying 2-0, and I think our truck is correct at 1-1. But we'll see here. I'm going to keep an eye on our home plate ump. Disher's pitch to Mitchell, heater up high. Got to keep an eye on it. Okay, so it is 3-0. Okay, so we are correct on the scoreboard. And I apologize if they're listening.
Well, it makes you wonder here if the showing of the bunt is kind of throwing Disher off.
Yep. Then he gets a fastball cross. So now 3-1. King on first, reached on that single. The ball with eyes, if you want to say. And that ball hit to shortstop Santelman. Another move over to first. Nice job by Newts to corral a throw.
Disher keeping an eye on King, who certainly can run. Already stolen one bag here today. And Eagan looking to manufacture some runs.
This one might drop in there and actually is going to do so. Kind of finds that no man land. That's going to send King over to third. Mitchell's going to have another hit as he just keeps finding the open field all season. As I mentioned earlier, came in today leading the team at 417. So that average is just going to keep on climbing for Mitchell. Lunenburg will step in, the sophomore hitting catcher. 341 average, 442 on base, 4 doubles tied for the team. Tied with King with 1 home run. Tied for third, 7 RBIs. And he went 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI in that 5-2 win over Lakeville North on Monday. Hopefully caught all that mouthful from Queso. Heater misses in. So we got King on third, Mitchell on first. Egan's first threat of the day in the top of the 4th against conference foe Burnsville Blaze.
Yeah, we saw in that 3rd inning, Disher had the strikeout pitch working. In this inning, he's had a little bit of trouble with command, and now he's got himself in a bit of Bit of a jam here with runners in the corners and nobody down in a 2-0 count.
Yeah, it's hard to know, too, if it's a little bit of either just overthrowing. I mean, some of his fastballs are missing up. If he's just not getting the right, release point, arm slot, or if it's just maybe even the pitch that they're calling is maybe not in the favor of what he's in the groove with here today. So Disher's on the mound. That's Nick Disher. His battery mate is the catcher, A.J. Galvin. Lunenborg was taking all the way, even took his left hand off the bat before the plate. Pitch crossed the plate. So 2-1 count. Theo King on third reached on a single. Will Mitchell on first reached on a single. Heater outside corner in there for a strike. Lunenborg didn't like that one. 2-2 count. Nobody down. Corners are up. Einberger's up at third. Newt's holding on. Mitchell at first. Fouled off by Lunenborg.
Yeah, this is a big at-bat now here for Disher. 2-2, nobody down, runners on the corners. You'd like to get a punch out here and then open up the door for that double play ball to end the inning.
Yep, or at worst, get a double play ball, and if you give up one run, then you at least kind of stay away from a big inning, right, John? Okay, 2-2's our count. Disher's pitch to Lunenborg. Misses low, working the count now full. Lunenborg has a lot of experience for a sophomore. Started every game last year as a freshman and actually was called up towards the end of the year as an 8th grader. I don't believe he was a letter winner, but he could have been one of those rare 5-year letter winners. Mitchell takes off, fouled off.
Interesting decision there to have Mitchell running. I like the decision. He got a great jump there, a little hit and run.
Yeah.
Lunenborg unable to keep the ball fair, but that had potential there.
Yeah. Mitchell's 3 for 6 on the year for stolen bases, so another guy that they do send, quite often, 6 times already this season, and trying to run yourself away from that double play ball, the double play, right?
Exactly. And
so the cat and mouse game, right? I mean, Burnsville wants, they're willing to potentially give up a run to get the double play. Egan's saying, hey, we don't want to get in the double play. Fastball misses low. The bases will be full. For the big man, the first baseman, the junior, Tony Hivari. And that's going to bring out Galvin to have a little chat with Disher, and it's going to bring the whole infield in to make sure that everybody is on the same page. We're going to have a courtesy runner, which will be the new courtesy runner for the Wildcats, the speedster, Jackson Dwyer. Dwyer 4 for 5 already. No, excuse me. Yeah, 4 for 5 already on the season. As a pinch runner, a sophomore. 4 runs scored.
Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Tony Hivari.
But he can't steal second because he's got Mitchell in front of him.
Right. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to run, but there's nowhere to put him.
But a ball hitting the gap, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring all 3 home and they send him all the way from first. So we'll see what happens here. Hivari has good pop in his bat. Couple doubles, 2 doubles on the season. So Disher pitching from the windup. Burnsville playing in, so they want to get the run at home, the force out at home. Fastball misses low. Quickly now 1-0. King is at third, reached on a single. Mitchell on second, reached on a single. And Jackson Dwyer, the sophomore, the courtesy runner, at first for Lunenborg, who had an excellent at-bat to coax a walk. The 1-0 pitch misses low. Nice block by Galvin. Where are we at for Disher? What do I have him at? 3 walks? Does that sound about right here, John?
Yep, looks like 3 walks for Disher on the evening.
Okay. So 2-0 pitch. Fastball on the knees to the big man, Hivari.
It's a good pitch there from Disher.
Yeah.
2 in the dirt, back to back. Good blocks by Galvin. Can trust his catcher back there.
Absolutely. 2-1. Big swing. Foul tip and caught by Galvin. 2-2. Eagan 2 hits, Burnsville 1 hit, Eagan 1 error. But zeros on the run column for both teams. 2-2 pitch. Curveball blocked by Galvin. King at third, Mitchell at second. Dwyer at first. Infield in, so all the runners are able to get big leads. Misses low, below the knees. An RBI walk for Hivari as King comes in to score. So first run of the game for the Wildcats.
Hivari will take it anyway. He can get that RBI, especially in a low-scoring affair like this one. And the Wildcats still threatening here with nobody down.
Yep, that's going to bring out, looks like one of the coaches. I don't know if that's Brad Schiller, Jacob Becker, or Michael Holmquist. The head coach for the Blaze is Justin Bannett. We might as well run through the Eagan coaching staff. Head coach is Steve Butler in his 8th season. And then the pitching coach is Luke Degramont. He's a guy that pitched at, you can guess it, Concordia St. Paul. He's not from Eagan. Not from Eagan, but he's a Concordia St. Paul guy. And then they have Zach Walls as their third base coach, and Paul Weinberg is over at first. That was a quick one. I like it. A lot of hustle today.
Yeah, maybe they are trying to get home before that dinner bell.
I mean, do we need to remind these guys that the Timberwolves don't play till Friday,
right.
John? The game isn't on tonight. All right, so with that being said, it looks like now we do see Aiden Canty. So Aiden Canty now comes back into the game for Eddie Moore. So maybe they just wanted to show a little lefty action early on. Fastball was in there for a strike. Second one's is a ball. So Canty originally was the DH, but then they slid in Eddie Moore, brought Aiden Canty back in. We'll give you some stats here in a second. 1-1 count. Eagan leading 1-0 here early on. Nice slow curve in there for a strike. 1-2 count. Now Mitchell's at third. Got on a hit. Jackson Dwyer, the courtesy runner, at second. Taking over for Lunenburg, the catcher, who I got on a walk. Curveball misses out now. Quick now 2-2. And then Hivari with the RBI walk at first. Canty on the season having a nice year. He's got 9 RBIs, which is second on the team. Scored 5 runs, 294 on base. Big swing. Ball's hit to Santelman. Throw to home in time for the force out. Nice job of Galvin to keep the foot on the base and get it off before Mitchell comes home. Santelman, nice play at short. Moving to his left with a strong throw, right, John?
Yeah, this is great play here by Santelman. You know, diving in there, trying to get in that second run, but just getting the out in time. And that was a gamble there by the Blaze, you know, with the bases loaded and nobody out. If they score there, there's still nobody down, and they're still threatening. But now, I feel like you're in a little bit better of a position.
Yep. And then you got Santelman and Dam playing back for the double play ball as Eckerly steps in, fouls one off. Looked like he was just trying to play some back control there, and at worst, get a fly ball to left to bring in Dwyer from third. So bases still remain loaded. You got Jackson Dwyer, the courtesy runner, at third, Tony Hivari at second, and then now you have Aiden Canty at first. 0-1 pitch. Curveball, nice block by Galvin. A lot of spin on that Uncle Charlie by Disher.
Yeah, Galvin's been a brick wall back there this inning, especially, and he's really kept this game where it is right now.
Yeah, both catchers have done an excellent job of keeping their umpire clean and also not letting any balls to the backstop. Looks like we had a suicide squeeze play. Dwyer's going to come in regardless. I don't believe that Eckerly offered at it as he pulled back, so it's going to be a 2-1 count. And maybe caught Dwyer or caught Disher a little bit off guard. And I think he was trying to obviously, you know, not throw it within the zone, right, to allow him to bunt it. But in doing so, put Galvin in a real tough spot on that wild pitch.
And that, you know, is your typical announcer's curse. We bring up how both catchers have been brilliant behind the plate, which this one wasn't really on Galvin.
I wouldn't put it on Galvin.
Of course, the ball gets past him the moment we bring that up.
Right.
It gets back to the backstop. So.
I mean, if as a pitcher, when you know that there's a guy on third and you see a bunt sign and you know it's more than likely a squeeze, whether it's a safety squeeze or a straight up squeeze. I mean, you are taught to obviously throw it high or outside. The tough part is if the catcher's set up for like a curveball in, like all of a sudden now he has to completely change his eye level and his glove, right, to be able to get to it. And when you throw a heater, then all of a sudden it gets by Galvin. So 2-0 is our score now as Eagan has played 2 runs here. That's going to bring the Blaze defense all the way in because there's still only 1 down. Hivari is at third, and they're going to do a squeeze, but this one is not going to get down by Eckerly. Hivari's going to be tagged. So Eagan is going to squander an opportunity there as they tried to go suicide squeeze, back-to-back plays.
Yeah, and you look at it here. Good job by Galvin this time. You know, making sure he got out of his stance there and running down the runner, not just letting him come to him.
Or get in a hot box and have a bad throw, right? Big swing by Eckerly. This one's going to be hit towards the gap, but actually corralled and run down and dropped in right field by Morrissey. So Eckerly's going to slide into second on that air, and then in doing so, Eddie Moore's going to come in and score as he was running for Canty. So Eagan does get one of those runs back, and Eckerly pops one out to right. I think he might have lost that in the sun, John, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the wind, but it's died down a little bit out here, so I would put that one on the sun. Good range to get over there, just unable to corral it.
So Eckerly now at second, 2 down. And the senior shortstop, Matt Cunningham, at the plate. 3-0 is our score. Curveball in there for a strike to Cunningham. A wild sequence there. So we had a suicide squeeze that was a pass ball, scored a run. The next pitch, a suicide squeeze that was caught, that was an out. And the next pitch was a pop fly dropped for a run. Ball's crushed down the line by Cunningham. Einberger's going to give it a chase. Eckerly's going to score, and Cunningham's going to scoot into second for a stand-up double. 0-1 pitch. Belted down the line for a double for Cunningham. Now quickly 4-0 is our score for Eagan.
Yeah, this one was drilled down that left field line. Einberg, no chance to get to that one. Easy walk in for Eckerly.
Yep.
And it looks like that will spell the end for Disher.
Yep, and the book won't be closed as he's still responsible for Cunningham at second. We can't see the numbers. I don't have my beanie coolers, so I can't tell you who's relieving, who's getting loose in the mound. But that will be the end of the day for Disher, and more than likely, Wolf will stay in as the designated hitter. So 4-0 is our score. We'll be back in 60 seconds. We're on Eagan TV, co-opt with Burnsville Community Media. 4-0 is our score, 2 down in the top of the fourth. Back in 60 as we wait for the relief pitcher to get ready and loose.
Now pitching for the Blaze, number 37, Ben Wolf.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
So it looks back here, Casey Lux and John Kuzi, top of the fourth. There's 2 down, but Eagan is struck for 4 runs here in the top of the fourth. Burnsville's going to drop the DH. They're going to, Nick Disher, the starter, is relieved of his duties, and they're going to bring in the designated hitter. So just drop the designated hitter, which was Ben Wolfel. So Wolfel's going to come in and now pitch for the Blaze. And it looks like he's got a few pitches left. Matt Cunningham had that big RBI double down the line to score Eckerly with 2 outs. And Joe Anderson, the senior left fielder, will be up next for the Wildcats. And we got a little Woolly Bully going on too, John.
Gotta like it. You know, that's a great, warm-up song there for Wolfel.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I mean, there's got to be something right with that, right?
You would think so. I would assume that this isn't just a coincidence.
Correct. All right, looks like he's got one more here, and then we're ready to go. 75-degree day. Kind of intermittent wind. It's kind of going from right center across to left field, left center. It didn't affect Cunningham's hit. Cunningham caught a fastball from Disher and crushed it down the line. There was no wind needed on that hit. So Joe Anderson steps in, senior left fielder. As we mentioned, one of the other speedsters on the lineup for the Wildcats. 6 for 6 on stolen bases. Second on the team in runs with 10. .362 on base percentage. Matt Cunningham on second, takes off on the first pitch. The throw down by Galvin. It's going to get past Einberger. Cunningham's going to come home. We're going to have a relay at the play. And safe as Galvin unable to corral that one hop on the throw by Santelman. So all it took was one pitch, John, and Cunningham raced from second all the way around to third.
Well, we talked about the run game and how big of an impact that could have on this game. And Eagan is showing why right now. They have manufactured a lot of runs here in this inning.
Yeah.
And it's helped, as you can see, the throw down here skips away from Einberg, and Santelman's not able to fire it in time to Galvin, and Eagan takes a commanding 5-0 lead.
Pitch swung on and fouled back. 1-1 is our count. 2 down. Ben Wolfel, who started the game as the designated hitter for Nick Disher, now in relief. Eagan manufacturing 5 runs on 3 hits. Also now 2 errors, though, this inning for Burnsville as well, which I think we probably gave an error on that, either the throw or the scoop. I don't know if I can't imagine that they gave an error to the catcher on that suicide squeeze, but maybe.
No, I would think that, I think it was the
it was
the
ball to
field.
right.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it was the ball to right to Morrissey, correct. I was going to say you can't give that catcher an error on that throw.
Right, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, that was more of a wild pitch than a pass ball.
Absolutely.
So 3-1 is our count, 2 down. Senior left fielder is Joe Anderson. Sees a changeup in there for a strike, so full count now. Trying to flip the lineup back to the top of the lineup to the center fielder, Tate Gage on deck. Wolfel comes to his stretch. Looks like he's pitching out of the stretch regardless of a runner on base or not. Grounder to third. It's going to be Einberger. Fields it on 2-hop. Throw over in time to get the speedy Anderson. His relays in time to Newt. So for Eagan in the top of the 4th, they do get 5 runs on 3 hits. 2 errors. No one left on. So a huge inning for the Wildcats. The Blaze looking to answer in the bottom of the 4th. Back in 60 seconds for the Blaze at bat here on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Back here, Casey Lux, John Kuzi, Eagan TV, co-opt with Burnsville Community Media. It's 5-0 is our score as Eagan plated 5 in the top of the 4th. 3 hits, a big double, RBI double with 2 outs by Matt Cunningham. John, why don't you speak to the helmets by the Blaze?
Yeah, as we take a look at the helmets the Blaze are wearing here, obviously in support of the Burnsville Fire Department and Police Department after that tragic event we had earlier in our year where 3 responders lost their lives, and it's just a really neat gesture from Burnsville to have that on their helmets all season.
No, absolutely. No, a wonderful gesture. I mean, well done. We always want to thank all of our first responders for the line of duty that they work in and then putting themselves in front of the line of duty as well. So an excellent move. First pitch swung on. Gage has got a beat on, and he's going to corral that for a pop-up. 1 pitch, 1 out by Lockemeyer. That was Darren Einberger, the left fielder. Yeah, and another classy move, too, was the Twins right at the opening day, right? Their home opener. They brought in first responders throughout the state, but I think they brought, if I remember correctly, they might have brought in almost all of Burnsville's police department and fire department, too, before the game. Another pitch here, 1 pitch pop-up to Mitchell. So Lockemeyer looking for that unusual 3-pitch, 3-out inning here. in the bottom of the fourth. One thing that we didn't get to jump into is, after a long inning, right, 5 runs scored, Eagan, I think, almost batted around. You always wonder how that pitcher's going to come out, how sharp they're going to be after sitting for so long. Lockemeyer just throwing strike after strike. 2 pop-ups, 1 to Gage, 1 to Mitchell. That was Brandon Einberger. There's a slider that misses low, and this will be the center fielder, which is Colin Heckman, and Heckman's got the only hit of the day for the Blaze, which is a double in the second. And he got all the way over to third with 1 out and then was unable to score. Swung on, hit hard to right center. This one's going to get by Gage. Heckman's going to look for his second double of the day. This is going to be, I'm 1 batter ahead of myself. Uh-oh. A bad bounce. Wow, a bad bounce. Skips off of a glove, goes right to Theo King. And that was Brandon Einberger. I was 1 hitter ahead of myself. That was Brandon Einberger. So had a double there, but then now with I don't know what you call that. That'd probably be a 8-6-5 in the book for the third out.
It's always fun to have those unusual scores, but yeah, this one gets over Gage's head in center field.
Yeah, and he actually bobbled it a little bit, kicked it. And then see here. Okay, so the throw went to third. That's what it was. Okay, so I thought for a second it went off of the glove of one of the relay men. So Einberger then is out at third. We'll just keep it here as we roll in. Now, you know what? We'll send it back to the truck. Back in 60 for the top of the fifth. 5-0 is our score at Alamagnet Park.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back here at Alamagnet Park, Casey Lux, John Kuzi, 5-0 is our score. We had Colin Heckman. I was actually correct. I was on target there. Colin Heckman had his second double of the game. It's tough to see their numbers, as John and I were saying, when it's white on white like that. So they kind of throw us in a loop. And, you know, we can't always hear the PA guy, so we have to kind of trust your book skills as well as me keeping up with the lineup. So Heckman, though, does have both hits and 2 doubles. I think, you know, what I think he was seeing there, right, is he was, you know, they say watch the TV, watch the play in front of you. He saw the ball get past Gage. He saw it get kind of kicked out of his glove. I think he thought that he could, you know, beat his relay. And a strong throw by Gage, you know, Gage throwing ahead of the base, right, knowing that he wasn't getting him at second. And basically throws a 2-hopper to King, and King was just sitting there waiting to take Heckman.
Yeah, Heckman kind of ran himself into that one. But like you said, played it the right way. Just a great throw by Gage in center field, kind of gunned him down.
And there's our first push bunt of the day, and that's the leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Junior Tate Gage. Yeah, and that's kind of the tricky thing too, right, John, is, you know, it's a 5-0 game. I mean, it's naturally, you want to do everything to help your team to get back in it, but you know that you can't score 5 runs on one at bat, right? So, you know, is it the safer play just to stay at second and hope for, you know, type of a bloop or a base hit to get in for that first run, right? Can't necessarily discount the aggressiveness, but at the same time, if it was a 1-0 game, it might be a little different. But a 5-0 game, you probably want to play it safer to try to just tack on runs to get yourself back in it on the Blaze side. 1-1 is our count to Gage, the leadoff hitter. Pitch from Woelfel, misses low.
But yeah, to your point, I think you want to play it safer there, especially with 2 outs in the inning. You're going to be going on contact anyway on the next hitter, so you're already kind of on your way to third.
Correct. Big swing. Ball's hit to Sanselman. He's got to get rid of it quick. His throw over to Newts. Dug in time. Nice play by the first baseman, Newts, as he digs that one up from Sandelman to get the speedy Gage on that grounder to short.
Yeah, that was a heck of a scoop there at first, and there's a reason those first base gloves look a little bit different. Just able to get that down, get it out of the dirt, and get the speedy Gage.
Absolutely.
As you can see it here. You know, Gage just motoring down that line.
Yeah.
Newts with a nice stretch and a nice scoop.
Yeah, scoop and show, they like to say, right? Got to show that ump or, make sure that you have it clean. Heater on the outside corner looks a little low to King. King thought so as well, but in there for a strike. 0-1 is our count. 1 down. Ben Wolfel in relief of the starter Nick Disher. Wolfel started the day as the designated hitter, so they're just dropping that designated hitter. He'll hit for himself. Curveball misses out to Galvin. Heckman has both hits of the day for the Blaze. Both are doubles. Usually when you'd say 2 doubles, you'd think that there'd be some runs that would be attached to it, John, but so far the Blaze being blanked by the senior Danny Lockenmeyer.
And when we look at the 3 hits for Eagan, Eagan only has 3 hits on the board but 5 runs, and that's a testament to their patient eye at the plate and their aggressiveness on the base paths, being able to run themselves into some runs here.
Bigger innings, right? Nice play there by Einberger over at third. Throw's going to be offline. Newts with the tag on King. Nice job over there by Brandon Einberger to stay down on that hot shot.
Right fielder number 21, Will.
Two-hopper over to Einberger, and News put on the tag.
And as we look at Brandon Wolfel here on the mound, he's done a good job in relief for Disher, and getting King out has been a key because he's been a thorn in the side for the Blaze this evening.
Fastball outside corner to the sophomore Will Mitchell at the plate. Mitchell has a hit on the day, came into today batting .417, leading the Wildcats. So that average keeps up climbing there, John. Another fastball on the outside corner. So Wolfel's found a little spot there for his heater on the knees on the outside corner. That's a great place to live. I'd build a house out there, John.
I definitely would too. Brick by brick.
I think that's what the Gophers used to say. That was their motto, right? Brick by brick.
Yeah. Now they row the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 0-2 is our count, 2 down. Alamagna Park, 75-degree day. South Suburban Conference, big matchup here, middle of the standings. Eagan and the Blaze. Another nice foul back pitch by Mitchell, 0-2, and has fouled 2 in a row, having a good at-bat. Batting in the 3 spot for the Wildcats. Sophomore catcher Lunenborg on deck. Galvin, the catcher for the Blaze. Here's Wolfel's 0-2 pitch, misses low.
Good miss there by Wolfel. Ahead in the count there. Don't want to give him anything to hit.
No, I don't want to give anything
See
nice
if you
there.
can get him to chase.
No, especially 3, 4, 5 hitters. The 4, 5 hitters coming up, right?
Yeah.
Want to be smart. Make him get himself out, as they say. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. See, this was going to stay. It is, and it's going to be caught out and left by Darren Einberger. So a nice inning by Wolfel. Retires the side 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. We have a 5-0 score with a lead for the Wildcats. Back in 60 seconds as the Blaze come up to try to rally here in this South Suburban Conference matchup.
I'll see y'all. Got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Back here at Alamagna Park as the Blaze are ready to come to the plate here in the Bottom of the 5th, 5-0 is our score across the scoreboard. Eagan with 3 hits, all in the 4th inning when they plated those 5 runners. 2 hits on the board for the Blaze. It should just say Heckman, too, up there because the center fielder, Colin Heckman, 2 doubles on the day for the Blaze. And then on the air side, there's 1 for Eagan and 2 for the Blaze. And unfortunately for the Blaze, both those airs also came in that 5-run 4th as well.
Yeah, that was the blow-up inning for the Eagan. They got 5 across and really took a commanding lead. The Blaze down to a couple outs here, a couple innings to try to get some back. But other than that, it's been a quick one.
Yeah.
And
it's just been 1 inning. It's really been 1 inning, really, and it wasn't necessarily a combination of a bunch of errors, like not just errors, but bad plays and so forth, or bad pitches by Disher. It was just Eagan kind of took advantage of some good eyes on a few base on balls, a couple of cheaper hits. Hot shot, base hit to the left field is going to be the now pitcher Ben Wolfel. So he leads off the inning with the single on a 0-1 pitch on a fastball from Lockenmeyer as the Blaze try to get a rally going.
Yeah, Wolfel wasted no time there. A frozen rope into left field. Gets Burnsville on the base paths, and this is what we've talked about. They need to start to chip away. They ran themselves into an out to end the 4th, and here they just need to try to keep it simple.
Yep, keep it simple against the veteran pitcher, the Danny Lackemeyer, the senior. We're going to have a courtesy runner. That's going to be Jack Skoglund for the pitcher, Ben Wolfel. And the catcher now, the number 8 hitter, is A.J. Galvin as he comes to the plate. First swing, fouled off, and I'm sure Skoglund got plenty of instructions from the bench to say, be smart over there. He's already picked off one of our runners.
Yeah, and he actually had picked off the runner that's being replaced. So,
okay, so he got Wolfel, is what you're saying. Okay.
Wolfel probably gave him some tips on the way back to the dugout, maybe.
All right. 0-1 count, bottom of the 5th, slider low. What's Galvin done here today for the Blaze?
Galvin is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field, excuse me. Yeah, looking to put good wood on the ball here.
We'll have to confirm it. I think we have a new outfielder in right for Eagan. So Mitchell's day might be done. I believe we have, yes we do. So it looks like we have Drew Boyd is out in right field now for Eagan. We'll see, though. It could be just, you can keep your book, because more than likely what that's going to mean is they're putting him out in the field, and the next time Mitchell comes up, he'll come back in and hit for himself as a, player replacement. Changeup misses up, 2-2 count.
Good at bat here.
That's
from
one
Galvin.
thing I've noticed kind of Eagan will do from time to time. They'll make some defensive changes in the field, but then bring back that hitter once they come back up. Yep, that's Joe Anderson still in left. Drew Boyd is the new right fielder. That one's going to be popped up high. Looks like it's going to be hit towards Cunningham. And he's going to corral it. And I believe we also have a new second baseman, too. No, that's still Eckerly, right? Number 3?
Looks like number 3.
Or number 2, yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Still Eckerly at second. All right. Getting ahead of myself.
Got to bring my binoculars next
I know.
game.
Beanies. We call them beanie coolers. So A.J. Galvin retired. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The number 9 hitter is going to step in. That's Connor Morrissey, the hero of yesterday's game, that 8th inning walk-off single in the win over Lakeville North. Lockenmeyer's pitch to Morrissey. Hits him on the hip. Morrissey not too enthused. But now the Blaze have runners on first and second with the courtesy runner Skoglund jogging down to second.
As we see, that's not a fun one to take there. I can tell you from my little league days, that was pretty much my job. I was the guy to come in and take one for the team, and they're not fun, but they get the job done. So Morrissey gets aboard, and the Blaze have a little bit of something cooking here with 1 out in the 5th.
First threat of the day, they'll bring up the leadoff hitter is Luke Dam, and that's also going to bring out the pitching coach, Luke Degremont, to just talk things through with not only the defense, but also kind of have a game plan in place with Lockenmeyer and his catcher, Lunenborg.
Yeah, this is big here for the Blaze. Morrissey getting that hit by pitch, now 2 on as they get back to the top of the lineup. And Dam on the day has had 2 very solid at-bats with a walk in his first and then reaching on that air in his second at-bat. So you would think if he can have another strong at-bat here, maybe get on, then the Blaze are setting the table for potentially a big inning to get back into this one.
Yeah, you know, and as we said, John, I mean, that kind of was what we talked about in the last inning on that Heckman double with 2 outs. I mean, just find a way to get on the board, right? I mean, you know, because then you go into the 5th and it's 5-1. It looks a lot better than 5-0, right? And get 1 or 2 here, and then all of a sudden now you're down by 3 with 2 more at bats for sure, right? So you just got to try a way to keep itching, scratching, and clawing to kind of find a way to put a couple runs across and keep putting pressure on the Wildcats defense. So the senior Lockemeyer on the mound, 1 down, pitch to Dam, 2 hopper, that's going to get past King, and there's no play for Cunningham. So an infield single on the first pitch by Dam. Just looked like it got underneath the glove of King. King was the one that would have been the only one to potentially make a play with the speedster, Dam, the leadoff hitter, up.
Yeah, here's Dam. We had mentioned right before that pitch that couple 6-pitch at-bats, this time wasting no time and getting that infield hit, and now here we go with the bases loaded.
Yep, base loaded for the shortstop, John Sanselman. So we have the courtesy runner is Jack Skoglund is at third. At second base is Connor Morrissey. Change up in there for a strike. Big pitch. And then now Luke Dam over at first. So now here in all of a sudden Blaze have 4 hits on the board, and they're actually leading the game with 4 hits, while the Eagan only has 3, but a 5-run 4th inning. 0-1 pitch, 1 out, big swing by the shortstop, Sandelman. So Lockemeyer well up in the count, looking for a big strikeout here. King playing in at third. Hivari now playing back at first. The shortstop, Cunningham. Second baseman, Eckerly, playing even for the double play ball. Eagan willing to give up a run for an out. Here's the pitch. Blocked, but big jump by Skoglund, and he's going to score. A great jump by Skoglund at third base. That ball barely got past Lunenborg, and Skoglund with an excellent jump to take off once he saw it hit the dirt to get that first run of the game across the board for the Blaze.
Yeah, that jump was the key there. No hesitation from Skoglund whatsoever when he saw that ball got behind the Eagan catcher, and a full-headed dive into home plate, getting that first run across for the Blaze.
So now the force is taken away. There's still 1 out, 1-2 count to the number 2 hitter, John Sanselman, the shortstop. Morrissey's at third, Dam's at second. Big pitch, ball's hit the center. It's going to drop in front of Gage. Morrissey's going to score. Big throw home is going to get over the head, but it's going to be caught behind the plate by Lockemeyer doing his job backing up. But in doing so, that overthrow by Gage is going to send Sanselman to second with some smart heads-up base running. So now it's 5-2, and Dam's at third with Sanselman at second. Third hit of the inning for the Blaze.
Yeah, Sanselman, down 1-2 in the count, gets a pitch to hit, doesn't make a mistake with it, drops one into center field, and as you mentioned, the throw home there allows him to get to second base, and that's big there for the Blazes. It doesn't have the double play option anymore, and 2 runners in scoring position for Jacob Newts.
Yeah, that ball's got to hit the cutoff. You got to keep the runners at first and third there to keep the double play in option. So Jacob Newts, the first baseman, steps in, a big slider in there for a strike by Lockemeyer. Lockemeyer's been in these situations as a senior, been pitching for Eagan. I believe this is his 3rd year on varsity, so not necessarily afraid of the big moments, but a nice piece of hitting there by Sanselman as he actually kind of looked fooled, the prior couple pitches of that at bat. 0-1 pitch, changeup misses up. Luke Dam reached on a single, now at third. An RBI single from Sanselman puts him at second on that overthrow. 5-2 is our score. 3 hits in the inning so far for the Blaze. They're out hitting the Wildcats 5-3 on the scoreboard. The big first baseman is Jake Newts. 1-1 pitch. Grounder to third. 2-hopper to King. King looked to home. Instead, it's going to go to Hivari for the out. Thought about coming home to Lunenburg to try to cut off that run to Dam. Went against it. Made the smart decision to get the for sure out with the strong throw to first. Now it's 5-3.
Now batting the left fielder, number
Yeah, I'd say that's a smart play there by King to go to first. Look home for sure, see if you have the play, but once you realize probably not, get that out.
I think too what I may be guessing, we'll see here. I think maybe he just didn't get a really good grip at first when he wanted to come home. See, try to kind of re-grip it. I think that was the whole case there. So 2 down, Lockenmeyer's pitch. Gonna get past Lockenmeyer. Gonna get behind Lunenburg. That's gonna score Santelman, so now it's 5-4. So 5-4 is our score as Santelman comes in to score from third on the first pitch, wild pitch, to the number 4 hitter in the lineup, which is Darren Einberg.
Yeah, so as we look at this replay here, ball kicks off of the catcher, and there's really no play. Santelman scores easily, and the Blaze are right back in this ball game at 5-4.
So a wild game here. Ground ball, it's going to be right in front of the mound. It's going to be Lockemeyer is going to field it. His throw to Hivari is going to be in time to retire Darren Einberger. Whoa, that was a wild one in the bottom of the 5th. For the Blaze, 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on. None left on, 5-4 is our score. We'll be back in 60 seconds for more on Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media.
Wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing this song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
5-4 is our score at Alamagnet Park. South Suburban Conference action. Eagan Wildcats traveling across to take on the Burnsville Blaze in an ever-important conference matchup. As John and I were talking earlier, both jockeying for positioning right now, kind of in that 4, 5, 6 spot. And Burnsville's sitting at 6-6, Eagan in the conference 5-7. So, big game for both. Burnsville trying to keep Eagan away, Eagan trying to pop back up. Eagan did beat Burnsville both times during the season. They won the earlier contest, which was on April 17th. That was an 11-1 win in 5 innings. So they would have a tiebreaker then if they did end up being tied.
Yeah, that just adds to the importance of this one, right? It gives those teams that are jockeying for position similar records.
Correct.
It gives them that leg up if they do end up both at 9-9 when the season's over.
Yeah, exactly. Nope. There you go. So the sophomore is Brandon Lunenburg, the number 4 hitter for the Wildcats against Ben Wolfel. Curveball in there for a strike. A lot of pop in Lunenburg's bat this season. As we mentioned, tied for the team with 4 doubles. Also has 1 home run, 7 RBIs, another outside curveball. So Wolfel really working that outside corner of the plate, whether it be curveball or fastball. But 7 RBIs on the season, 341 average, 442 on base percentage. Wolfel quickly up 0-2 here. Ball hit to second. That's going to be Dam. Stays down on it. Scoop throw over to Newts in time for the first out of the inning, bringing up the junior first baseman, Tony Hivari.
Next up, first baseman number 25.
That thing took a little bit of a little scooch hop on Dam. He had to stay down on that one. That was a nice job.
Nice play by him to keep that glove in the dirt. And as we mentioned, pretty much everybody on this Eagan roster has speed. So it's, even though it was a ground ball to second, it's a tough play.
Yeah, nothing's a for sure out, right? Big swing by Hivari. This one could have the distance. Einberger looks up, and it's gone. First pitch offering by Wolfel. Tony Hivari with a Wildcat jack out to left, just left of the light pole. Got it up in the jet stream with no wind, and goodbye. Hivari's first home run of the season, the third home run of the year for the Wildcats, as he ties Theo King and Lunenburg for home runs on the season. A huge hit for the Wildcats to kind of space them out from a 5-4 to a 6-4 lead.
Now batting DH number 27.
I mean, you look at it there, you can tell by the swing off the bat, he got all of that one. Rounding first, and then he knew it was gone, passing Newts there. Starts the trot, but a much earned trot, and like you said, extends that lead back to 2 after the Blaze came roaring back in the 5th to make it 5-4 now.
Yeah, and once again, the non-normalcies of baseball. Eagan being out-hit 5-4, yet leading this game 6-4. So Eddie Moore batting as they did a little flip-flopping of designated hitters today. It started with, we thought was going to be Aiden Canty. Changed right before first pitch to Eddie Moore. And then Canty came in for an at-bat. And then now we're back to Moore. So hopefully you're keeping up with us here.
They like to keep us on our toes.
Right. Eddie Moore, the senior. Fastball misses out. He tried a drag bunt on his first pitch. It's 2-1s our count, 1 out. The highlight of that inning was the bomb by Hivari. Pushed that lead to 6-4 for the Wildcats. Grounder to Newts. He's going to sit on it and step on it for the second out of the inning. Chuck it around the diamond to his teammates, bringing up the senior second baseman, left-handed hitting, Ryan Eckerly.
A good comeback batter there for Wolfel after he gave up the long ball. You never know how you're going to react. He kept within himself and got a nice, easy second out.
Eckerly a threat to run with 5 stolen bases, 5 for 6 on the year, 8 runs, a double on the season too. Reached on a basically a 2-base air on that pop-up to right center to Morrissey that we believe maybe he kind of lost in the sun. What inning was that for us, John?
That would have been the fourth, top of the fourth.
He scored the 5th run on the next pitch when Cunningham hit that double. So, yeah, that air did prove costly. Ooh, a little slicer out to left, but Einberger's got a beat on it. That's Darren Einberger with a nice catch to retire Eckerly. So, Wildcats, 1 swing, 1 run. And that was the first pitch that Hivari saw. There was a home run. 1 run on that 1 home run that hit. No errors, nobody left on. Coming into the bottom of the 6th, it's 6-4. Eagan leading the Blaze. We'll be back in 60 seconds as the Blaze come to the plate.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
All right, we're back here at Al Magna Park. Eagan versus the Burnsville Blaze going into the bottom of the 6th. 6-4 is our score. I'm Casey Lux, joined by John Kuzi. New pitcher on the mound is the junior, Jackson Tasalis. Came into today 6 games pitched, only giving up 2 earned runs. 10 Ks to 3 walks, so he's a guy that just pounds the strike zone. And a very impressive team-leading 1.55 ERA for Jackson. This is his first year on varsity. So Some may say small in stature, but what I'm really impressed with is the guy who's not afraid to attack the hitters and attack the zone right away from the get-go. And he's going to be one replacing Lockemeyer. Lockemeyer's day is done. John maybe will give us some stats at some point. I know Lockemeyer went 5 innings. I believe all 4 runs were earned.
Yeah, Lockemeyer, 5 innings, 5 hits, and 4 earned runs. He had 2 punch-outs on the afternoon, and he walked only 1, it looks like, but 1 hit by pitch as well in that big inning.
Perfect. Tasalis likes to live low at the knees, and he does so on that first pitch. Tasalis primarily a fastball slider hitter. So just the 2 pitches, but goes back and forth between the 2. So quickly up 0-1 is Tasalis. Heater on the outside corner. And this is going to be number 22, which is Brandon Einberger, the third baseman. 0-2 pitch. On the corner. Misses. A good miss, as the coaches would say. Right, John?
Absolutely. That one was enticing.
Here's our 1-2 pitch to Einberger. Slider misses out. Other thing that you notice with Tasalis is works quick. You know, a lot of infielders in your defense like it when you're not standing around there playing with your hat and counting the dandelions in front of you. Just misses outside. So now, nice job by Einberger after those first 2 strikes to work it to a full count.
Yeah, got himself back into this one with a good eye.
6-4 is our score, bottom of the 6th, and a huge game in the South Suburban Conference. Ball hit to short. Cunningham fields it, throw over, scooped. Whoa, what a scoop by Hivari. Big dig, the second one of the day by the first baseman who just came through with the big home run out to left. And a huge out to get that first out of the inning for the Wildcats.
Yeah, back-to-back highlights for Hivari. Top of the 6th, the big home run. Bottom of the 6th, starting it off with a nice scoop there to get that first out.
Colin Heckman, the center fielder, will step in. 2 doubles on the day for Heckman. So he's got 2 of the Blaze's 5 hits. First pitch swinging, fouled out. I'll be interested to kind of see if the position in the outfield is going to change at all for Heckman, but it looks like they're kind of going to keep it even. He hit the one right down the line. The other one went to the right center gap. So we'll see if Gage kind of shades a little bit more to right. Grounder, slow roller. It's going to be a tough play for King. King fields it, throws in time to Hivari. Nice play by King, charging it with a strong throw to Hivari for the second out. Tasalis just collecting outs here in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and if you're King, he played that perfectly. You know, on this grass, you got to go up and get it because you never know, it could just die. And he made sure he got there, charged it nicely, and they finally were able to retire Heckman.
Yeah, right, exactly. So the pitcher's going to come in. That's Ben Wolfel. Tasalis' pitch looked like it was a slider, maybe tipped. Caught Lunenborg in the stomach, or actually caught him in the finger, I think. So he's just gonna shake it off as opposed to walk it off. I thought they were gonna play Taylor Swift for a second there. You know, I don't try to always induce Taylor Swift in the conversation because it's not like, you know, I'm tied to the Kelseys or anything like that. But you know, the shake it off would have been a good cue by the DJ up top.
Absolutely.
0-1 pitch. Fastball outside corner to Wolfel. A little pitcher-pitcher matchup here. Bottom of the 6th. 6-4 is our score. The big highlight was last inning, Hivari's first pitch swinging bomb out to left field. That misses a little up for Tasalis. As we mentioned, Tasalis, this is his 7th time on the mound this season for the Wildcats with a 1.55 ERA. There's a slider for strike 3, and Egan's got some momentum rolling here in the bottom of the 6th. So for the Blaze, no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. 6-4 is our score. Back in 60 seconds for more action here at Alamagna Park.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Okay, we're back. Casey Lux, John Kuzi, having a blast. Hey, we got to do our thank yous, John, right? We got to thank the excellent crew here. We got the combo crew, Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media. We got our master man inside, director, producer Tim, who likes to giggle in my ear every once in a while when I tell a good joke. On the graphics, we got Savina, and then Dan on replay, and then our lovely camera crew, Nick, Sarah, Michelle. Lot better weather for the camera crew today because they've had some games at Eagan where they were in the elements. This has been a good year for baseball, we know, but they had to sit through the rain on one. I think the first game of the year was like a 32-degree day on a Saturday, so we always tip our hats to those that are out in the elements like John and I, but we always have to thank Eagan TV as well as Burnsville Community Media, not only for providing this entertainment for the high schools, for the kids, for families that can't be here, but also for everyone to be able to watch it after the fact on YouTube as well.
Absolutely. It is such a underrated thing that doesn't get enough attention and should, because it's so important to especially these families and kids.
A lot of time and effort put into it, right? So I mean, people are taking time out of their days to come out, and obviously it's a little bit different when it's 75 degrees and you get to enjoy the day being outside. But with that being said, we got Matt Cunningham leading off the top of the seventh. He had an RBI double in that 5-run fourth. Heater in there for Wolfel in the outside corner to make it 2-1 on the count. What else has Cunningham done today, John?
Yeah, well, Cunningham with that RBI double, that was the one that really kind of broke it open. That's what that was the laser down the line that spelled the end for Disher, and that's what
scored Eckerly. And that came after that error. So in a sense, Blaze was trying to get out of that inning, with only giving up 4 runs, and then Cunningham came up and blasted one down the line. Curveball misses out quickly now, a full count with the senior left fielder Joe Anderson on deck. Looks like we have the same lineup in the field as far as defense goes for the Blaze. It's hard to tell because they have no numbers on the front and white numbers on the back. Fastball misses up, and Wolfel's going to walk Cunningham. So next on that bat for Cunningham, senior Joe Anderson now will step to the plate. Give me Anderson's rundown.
Anderson today is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short, but tough at-bats at the plate, and he comes up here looking for some much-needed insurance here in the top of the 7th for the Wildcats.
Cunningham, 4 for 5 on the season with stolen bases, 4 runs scored, so we'll see if they send him. A little fake bunt by Anderson. Strong throw by Galvin. This big tag by Newts, but Cunningham gets back in time. Anderson, 362 on base. Second on the team in runs with 10. 6 for 6 on stolen bases coming into today. And he had a big game in coming off the bench. 1 for 1, 2 runs, and an RBI in their 5-2 win against Lakeville North on Monday. Fastball in there for a strike. Now 1-1's the count. We'll see if Eagan stays with the bunt or if they're going to let him swing away, or maybe even a little hit and run, which we haven't seen yet today, John.
That's true. We have not seen a hit and run, and especially with all the running.
There it is. Look at me. I'm calling it. That's going to come out. Watch out, crowd. And we're good. Everybody's safe. I like it. So I call the hit and run. We get a chance to see it. Cunningham takes off. Anderson takes a cut, but fouled back. And about 3 feet over a lady sitting in a comfy chair. Nobody wanted to go over there and catch it or help her. I don't know what's going on over there. Thought somebody tried to put their hat at least and grab it.
But everybody came out unscathed.
Yes, that's right.
It was a good read on the ball.
Good read. Good read. I thought for a second it was coming to us. That was one of the few that I actually looked up at. 1-2 count to Anderson. Wolfels throw back over to first. Cunningham back in time. 6-4 is our score. Eagan 4 hits, 1 error. Wolfels just going to keep pounding it over to first, it looks like here this at bat. Eagan with 1 error in the field, and then the Blaze 4 runs all in the bottom of the 5th, and then they have 5 hits total. They had 3 hits in that inning, and then 2 errors. Cunningham takes off. Galvin unable to corral that. Cunningham now 5 for 6 on the season on stolen bases. 2-2 count. Anderson with an RBI opportunity at the plate as Gage looms on deck in his leadoff spot.
After all of the pickoff attempts, Cunningham finds the correct one to run on there. Steals without a throw.
Absolutely, for sure. 2-2. Pitch from Wolfel. Gets past Galvin. Cunningham scoots over to third.
Again, this run game is paying dividends here for the Wildcats today.
Just to keep tacking on. I mean, no lead safe, as we know, right? Whether you're talking Little League all the way up to the majors. Twins were looking good last night, and all of a sudden Okert wanted to throw a slider over the dish for a grand slam instead. And I was calling for the slider at the knees, and he wanted to go slider down the middle. 3-2 pitch by Wolfel. Swung on, popped up. This is going to be out to left to Darren Einberger. Actually, I can't see. It's going to be Einberger. Cunningham's going to fake a tag, but it's going to stay home because it was hit to shallow left. That was blocked by about 8 people there. Maybe not 8, but I couldn't tell if that was going to be the shortstop Santelman or if that was going to be Einberger on the play.
Yeah, and as we see it here, Santelman went out there, but called off by Einberger at the last second. Good catch by Einberger. And then, like you said, Cunningham with he thought about it, but
it's just such
shallow enough.
So
it's a tough one to run on.
5 feet outside of the infield, right? So I'm kind of surprised that Burnsville's not playing up as far as their defense because they have their corners up. I kind of would have thought that you'd have Dam and Santelman also playing up, trying to cut off that run here in the 6-4 game. I don't think you want to just give away a free run here. Gage at the plate, swinging to short. Santelman has to charge it, has to go to first. Big hop. Nice play by Newt. So that's just exactly what we just talked about. Santelman's playing up on that. Well, unless it's a contact play, there's at least a chance to play for a play at the plate.
You would think so, yeah. Honestly, exactly what you were saying there. If Santelman was playing up, I think they have a chance to get him at home there, or Cunningham doesn't test it.
Yeah.
Instead, he's playing back. Cunningham scores with these, and Santelman able to get him. Newt's playing like a hockey goalie there, getting his body in front of it.
I know. It almost looked like he was going to trap it to his stomach. Here's the pitch by Wolfel. Heater up high to third baseman, junior Theo King. You know, and they're very well with some confusion because I did notice right when I was kind of talking about that Santelman was looking into the dugout, and you know, both him and Dan were kind of like, are we supposed to be back? Are we supposed to be up? Anyways, it's 7-4 is now our score as that fastball's in there for a strike. 2 down, Theo King at the plate. The third baseman's having a nice day at third. Made some nice digs, some strong throws over to first. 2 down. Grounder up the middle. Santelman tested again. Nice scoop and a throw to Newt's in time. Santelman showing off the range and the arm. But Eagan, 1 run, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Back in 60 for more here in the bottom of the 7th.
Hey, we should volunteer for this.
I wish I had time.
Scrolling all day, time can disappear. Wanna make it count, why not volunteer?
Posting pics of your food, that takes up time. Maybe just eat me, I don't really mind.
Time, you've got time. As your reflection, it's my duty to say.
Time, I've got time.
All my pics are the same.
I am some eggs.
10 hours a week deciding where to go eat.
Well, where do you want to eat? Maybe let's not go out to eat.
You paint your walls from cream to white, then from white to cream, then back to white.
Time, you've got time. To binge all of season 9, though it got so bad.
Time, you've got time.
We're gonna grow back and be the same brows you had.
Time, you got time.
Listen to my plea as I harmonize.
Time, you've got time.
Zooba-doo-bop, wow.
Just a few hours to keep families from harm. Help us end home fires with Sound the Alarm.
Volunteer for a day to install free smoke alarms in your community.
We're back at Alameda Park. 7-4 is the score. It's been a wild one. It's been a fun one. Bunch of zeros on the board through 3. We have a new hitter, is Noah Lindsay for the Blaze. And Jackson Tasalis still in the mound as he came in relief of the senior, Danny Lockenmeyer, in the bottom of the 6th. Quickly now 2-0 to Lindsay. Quick recap so we don't have to do it after the game. Zeros through 3. Eagan with 5 in the top of the 4th on 3 hits and 2 errors. Nothing from the Blaze in the bottom of the 4th. Tasalis' pitch in there for a strike, now 2-1. And then the Blaze came alive in the bottom of the 5th. They scored 4 runs on 3 hits and made it a tight contest at 5-4. But then the big swing of the day as we look for Tasalis, as that one's fouled off by Lindsay. The big swing of the day was in the 6th inning with 1 out on the first pitch. Tony Hivari with a big blast out to left to push that lead to 6-4, and then Eagan then tacking on 1 more in the top of the 7th, and that's how we've gotten to 7-4. Tasalis with a slider on the outside corner. Swung on and missed by Lindsay for the first out of the 7th.
Well, you had mentioned Tasalis when he came on, 10 Ks as opposed to 3 walks.
Right.
And we already have 2 in his 1 1/3 inning of work, so he's just continuing to get that average much higher Ks to walks.
Right. Yeah, gonna have a great whip, right? Walks, hits per innings pitched. First pitch popped up. Hey, this was coming over by us here. Hey, everybody's safe. We're good. 0-1's the count. 1 down.
And we've got some people
see,
chasing after that foul ball.
Return that ball for a free bag of popcorn. Trying to see who our hitter is. I believe this is Morrissey. I think Lindsay was hitting for Galvin, if I'm correct. Slider misses in. Yes, this is Morrissey, and then Luke Dam, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. 7-4 is our score in an all-important South Suburban Conference matchup. Eagan came in today 5-7 in the conference. Fastball misses up. Burnsville 6-6 in the South Suburban Conference. So both jockeying for that middle slots in the conference here as we get closer and closer to playoff time. 2-1 pitch. Popped and crushed down the line, but can't corral it fair, is Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey on the afternoon. 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and he had to wear some baseball in that uniform as he took a hit by pitch. That was a
took one right in the hip, right?
Yep, right in that hip. That's a nasty place to take it, but I'm sure he'll not mind once he got to come around and score.
Another slider by Tasalis for his 2nd strikeout of the inning. 3rd strikeout of the game. So 2 down as the leadoff hitter is going to be Luke Dam is going to come to the plate in a 7-4 score as Tasalis looking to corral a 2-inning save for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's his 3rd punch out in 1 2/3 innings pitched.
Yeah. And it's just kind of what I talked about. I mean, it just works fast and just works the zone. Another slider. And I think what, where he's so efficient and, so effective is that, he throws fastball slider, but I think what you notice a little bit is he changes his speed on the sliders, right? So some of those sliders almost kind of have a little bit of a change-up feel to them, but they obviously still have that late movement. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, scooped up by Lunenburg.
Yeah.
So, because obviously if you're only going to throw fastball and slider, if your slider is similar speed to your fastball, people are going to be able to time it up, right? And they're going to be able to see the rotation on it and understand if one's going to move, one's going to be straight and one's going to move sideways. 1-1 pitch. Hot shot, one hopper, backhanded by Cunningham. His throw to Hivari in time. Wildcats come through with a big win, a 7-4 win. Tasalis comes in, has a 3-up 3 down 2 times around in the 6th and 7th. So we already kind of gave you that recap. Wildcats win 7-4. They had 4 hits and 1 error. The Blaze had 4 runs and 5 hits and 2 errors. Thank you once again to Burnsville Community Media and all of our crew. Tim, our director and producer, graphics, Savina, Dan on replay, camera, Nick, Sarah, and Michelle. And once again, we love the co-op between Eagan and Burnsville for this broadcast. Thank you again. Everybody have a wonderful day. 75 degrees. Enjoy the sunshine. For John Kuzi, I'm Casey Lux. And always never forget, go Wolves.